Hey, water's not wet. My name is Funny Mxn and welcome to the finals. Now, we got just 15 hours until the season ends. Season 7 has been kind of a ride, I'll be completely honest with you. And to commemorate the end of Season 7, the season where I really took off covering this game and just the season I've spent the most playtime in, for sure, I wanted to go ahead and just commemorate that by taking a look back, giving the season a little bit of a review, and just seeing what we're looking forward to with the next season. So without further ado, let's get right into this shit. Not going to be doing a whole lot of standing in front of the camera for this video. Not going to be a whole lot of editing either. Just going to sit down, we're going to play some games, we're going to ramble, and just give my thoughts on Season 7 overall, because it was a big one. So kind of starting things off, the H+ Infuser I think was an amazing addition this season. Being able to play support light is kind of fantastic. You know, I do think it's going to catch a nerf next season just because of how effective it was. You know, there was really no reason to run heal beam most of the season. Damn it. There was really no reason to run heal beam most of the season because the H+ Infuser was so effective. So we'll see how it gets tuned next season, or maybe they'll buff healing beam. Honestly, I'd prefer that over a nerf to the Infuser, but we'll have to see what they end up doing. Oh damn, this thing is busted. Aside from that, I also really like the healing emitter that they added, which gives Heavy the ability to kind of sustain themselves a little bit. You know, it's not so overpowered that it turns Heavy back into the healing maniacs that they were back in the first season when everybody else had the same time to heal, but it gives you just a little bit of team utility and lets you sustain through picking someone up, you know, get a couple extra points of healing off so that you can tank through something. You know, they definitely adjusted it, healing through barricades and a lot of other solid cover, which I think is a good change. It shouldn't have been able to do that in the first place. Damn, I can't hang with two snipers. Ah, no shot, I just did that. Alright, well, see, I don't totally suck at this game. I will say though, the one really underwhelming gadget that they added was the breach drill. I know I said in the beginning of the season that I was kind of enjoying using it, but then I realized that I could literally just bring the dematerializer and not have to waste a slot on this. I mean, this thing has a cool concept, you know, being able to breach into a room and flashbang it so that you can enter and do some damage. Like, that's a great concept, but ever since they nerfed flashes, it's really just not so worth it. And plus, this thing takes forever to go off, and by the time it goes off, I could have just dematted in, shot someone, and re-added the wall or whatever the fuck I just dematted in order to give myself some time to go breach and leave anyway. Literally. And the amount of time that it took me to demat this wall and then kill that tango, it took them just as long to breach through this wall. So breach drill, if they're going to give it a buff, or if they're going to buff flashing overall next season, you know, that'd be cool, and that might bring this in a kind of a usable slot and give me more of a reason to run heal beam than the dematerializer. But honestly, for the time being, I just don't really think it's worth it. Now, one thing I absolutely love that they added were these practice range challenges. Being able to just shoot against a particular dummy to see what kind of time to kill you've got on various weapons, or just warm up your aim before you hop into a game with some moving dummies. And especially I love the big box battle that they added. I rarely ever hop into a game without playing this first. It's a great way to practice your aim and warm up while putting some pressure on yourself so that you don't just have the calmness of shooting a static dummy, but also not making the huge commitment to playing a quick match and potentially wasting some time that you could be spending grinding World Tour. This was a fantastic addition to the game, and I really hope that they expand on it in future seasons by adding more stuff, more challenges. I mean, hell, make a impossible level of the big box battle. I'll grind that shit until I can do it in 30 seconds. Another huge W that Embark added with this season was the ability to go back to your old battle passes, or to get them for the first time if you didn't play the season, and just be able to unlock a lot of the old cosmetics that came out. I don't make any secret out of the fact that I wasn't playing the game for Season 2, 3, and 4, and I played for a little bit of Season 1, but I didn't buy the battle pass back then. So having the chance to just go back through these old battle passes and unlock stuff that you missed is a really great quality of life feature, and I really wish a lot more games would add something like this. So far, Embark has a really good track record of being super consumer friendly, and I really hope that they continue down this path. No fucking shot, I just caught that on video. Everybody always steps on the mines, man. I've noticed at the end of every season is super sweaty until you get to the very last day where there's this almost like calm before the storm. You know, everybody's just like taking a knee and just chillaxing, enjoying the end of the season. Unless you're playing World Tour or Ranked. Those are both still hellholes. So I guess I'm just gonna touch on game balancing real quick. So Heal Beam needs a buff. Heal Beam needs a hella buff because if I was using the H+ Infuser, he would have been full health already. Pretty much everything on medium needs some love as per always, but the buff to the model has made it feel pretty good again this season. Oh, well, he killed me with a sledgehammer. Speaking of that, the sledgehammer nerf that came earlier in the season, I don't know. I feel really conflicted about it because on one hand, I feel like it didn't do anything to everybody using the sledge against me, but now when I use the sledgehammer, it's like I'm trying to kill someone with a pool noodle. Pyro grenades are still useless as ever. Now, I have been trying for the past like 40 minutes to get a game on here, but for some reason, it just wants to give me every other map today, so we're just gonna go ahead and cut right here to talk about the new map that they added this season. I truly think that Nozomi Citadel is a top 3 map in this game, 100%. The asymmetry gives the map a nice kind of feeling to it, whether you're fighting on the CNS side or the VIA side. I definitely feel like the map is well balanced. The spawns on this map are nowhere near as bad as they are on some of the other ones. Kyoto. And all in all, I have loved most of the games that I've played on this map. Yeah, sure, I've had some fucking ragers, but who the hell hasn't? The VIA versus CNS theme that they had all season was pretty nice too. I do kind of wish I had chosen CNS as my sponsor. The only reason I chose VIA was because I didn't really want a FAMAS skin. I already had a couple of them that I really liked, and I'm like, I'll take another skin for the Serb. You know, I didn't really want a skin for either of them, but that's what I had to pick between. And then of course the head-to-head challenges come out and I get another Serb skin that's basically the VIA skin anyway. That is one thing that I will say, they should not do that again. In terms of balancing throughout the season, I feel like they did a relatively good job with the balance changes. I especially liked the change that they made to the Grav Cube to make it more viable and recharge quicker. I have been loving it so much in the back part of the season. It's basically become one of my main gadgets on Heavy, and I am so glad that it's more usable now. The flashbang nerf, I do like that, but they could have timed it a little better is what I'm saying. The nerf to flashbangs really made the drill kind of useless, like I was saying. Now, they came for the goo grenades this season for sure, and you're still seeing goo grenades everywhere, so they're either going to nerf them even harder next season, or they're just going to leave them alone, and the nerf was kind of useless. So we'll see. The changes that they made to the VR cost for all the items, I do like that too. I do think the VR system needs a little bit more revamping as well. A lot of other YouTubers, you know, I'm gonna say what they've said now at this point of 1,000 times, but there's no point to you getting VRs after you unlock everything in the game. So honestly, you already let us earn multi-bucks from playing World Tour. Why not let us exchange 5,000 VRs for like 150 multi-bucks? You know, that still keeps people playing the game, keeps people earning and whatnot. But it also gives people an incentive, if they're not as big of a fan of World Tour, to keep playing the game no matter what mode they're playing. Now, the World Tour challenges, they were kind of light this season. I didn't love that. I feel like last season we had one regular week of World Tour anytime we switched, and then we got 2 weeks of events. I liked that a lot, and I think that that should be the norm. But I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what they do for next season. Now, while we're on topic here, let's talk about LTMs. Blast Off, huge fan of that. Had a ton of fun, earned all the cosmetics, played it until my fucking fingers fell off. Loved it. Super Cash Ball, I really loved this one too. I made a whole video about the wheel though, you know, as you guys saw. Complaining about how the wheel just doesn't really feel fair, especially when you play most, if not every single day, and you still end up not getting everything and need to buy it. But the event itself was super fun. I loved every game of it I played. I honestly some days hopped on just to play Super Cash Ball. There were some days in the middle of the season where World Tour was just really grinding my gears, and I just wanted to play something fun, and this was it. If Embark was to ever bring a rotating playlist of just former LTMs, I would hope to run into Super Cash Ball every single time. Embark Creator Program, I think that's a really cool thing that they've added this season too. You guys will be probably like the 6th people to know once I get into it, but I think the thing that they're doing with the Grand Major, you know, the open qualifiers and everything, I think it's good that they're trying to get some esports life into this game. I think that a major esporting event can only be good for the game. Obviously, it's going to have some bugs, it's going to have some kinks, and to anybody out there who's like, oh, but it's so random, the finals, you can break anything, it's not fair. That's the whole point of the game. Like, if you genuinely want to play a game that's just know what corners to look around, go play CS or COD. And then last but not least, head-to-head. Honestly, I didn't love head-to-head. I mean, I do think that there needs to be a way for us to practice final rounds without getting all the way to the end of a tournament, because that was one of my biggest problems when I first started playing this game again, is that I was just so bad at the final round of a tournament that I would choke a lot. But having this as a full-blown LTM, you know, like I said, I played it plenty. I didn't hate it. I just didn't really love it. And then with this update in particular, they brought out some Cerberus buffs, some model buffs, some sledgehammer buffs, and the sword buff. So they made a lot of weapons that a lot of people loved viable again, and that I really appreciated as well. Especially the sword. I used the sword for the first time this season, and oh my god, it feels good. Now, just taking a quick second to talk about the cosmetics. I did thoroughly enjoy a lot of the cosmetics that they dropped this season. I spent probably more than I should have on this game, getting some cosmetics, getting some new skins, just enjoying myself with the new shit that they added in. You know, I gotta say, Embark continues to be super consumer friendly by giving you the option to purchase a bundle. If you were gonna purchase $20 of multi-bucks anyway, you could get that, or you could get $20 of multi-bucks plus a skin set. The day Call of Duty does that is the day that I'm a 160-pound skinny model. The Battle Pass had a ton of cool stuff in it this time around too. I thoroughly enjoyed a lot of the stuff that came out with the Battle Pass this season. Now, I know the Ultimate Battle Pass bundle was kind of controversial. People were like, oh no, I don't want to pay $30 for the Battle Pass, and I can totally see that. I can get behind that. The whole point of a lot of Battle Passes is you buy it once and then you just reinvest the multi-bucks or the premium currency you get back into the next one. So having the paid one, a lot of people didn't really like that. Personally, I bought it because I thought the way they were going to implement legacy battle passes was going to be you had to play the game and proceed through battle pass points just like you have to with every other regular season pass. So I ended up buying it before I read the fine print on everything, but you know what, I did enjoy the ultimate variants of a lot of these skins here, so I wouldn't call it a total waste. Don't know if I'm going to do it again next season though. It's really going to depend on what those ultimate variants look like. Listen, Embark's got to make their money. I totally get that, and I'm way more willing to give my money to a company that's giving us more consumer-friendly practices like this than to go and toss $30 into the Call of Duty void and get a skin that I won't be able to use 6 months from now. Wasn't loving the bonus tiers though. Bonus tiers this season were kind of lackluster. I mean, just comparing to some of the stuff that we got in a couple seasons past, like this was one of Season 5's bonus page skins. Like, if this shit looks dope. Or, you know, last season with the bonus page variant of the Valkyrie skin. So bonus pages of next season's Battle Pass could definitely use a little love, but it's kind of nitpicking at this point. And as per always, the music is bumping. Embark has yet to release a bad soundtrack, and I doubt they're going to start next season. And all in all, Season 7 I think is just going to hold a very special place in my heart for a very long time. You know, like I was saying in the beginning, it's the first season that I really started uploading content and covering the game in more detail and just really trying to get the YouTube channel to take off. So this season's always going to have a special place in my heart for that reason, and I can't thank each and every one of you guys enough for stopping by, becoming part of the community, subscribing, popping in the live streams. Thank you to every single one of you who has joined me for this short little video today. Unfortunately, this week there won't be a new episode of I Taught Myself. As I mentioned on streams recently, Mama Funny's birthday was last Saturday, so gotta spend some time with your mom's kids. They're not gonna be there forever, and you will fucking regret it if you don't spend time with them. So, like, literally, unless your mom is the Wicked Witch of the West, go hug her. Like, right now. But we will be streaming the new season when it comes out tomorrow night. I won't be able to cover it immediately, but we will be covering the season a little later on in the evening and a little bit on Thursday morning as well. Be sure especially to tune in Thursday for the birthday stream. Your boy is aging up. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Be sure to let me know down in the comments what you thought of Season 7. Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Some of you have been very vocal in the comments about hating this season, so let me know what you think down there too. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye.